if you know anything about like Zion, or if you know anything about like the Matrix, there's like Zion where they're outside of like the Matrix, which is separate to why we even made it anyway. Because like there's a Rastafarian culture in Zion where it's like where you're supposed to try and get to as a people with like enlightenment and peace, and that was just really cool. And then nation, like having those two things put together as like the Zion being the meaning and nation being the goal. Whereas like everything that we try and embody within Zion, within ourselves, within the clothing, within the brand, we want to try and express outwardly and try and get like a community, try and build like a nation of people that are like-minded.
The whole concept of design was basically a reference to like obviously during the slave trade when a lot of Africans were obviously trying to obviously escape from captives, not captives, but like slave traders, and they looked at Zion as like in a way as a form of like escape. And I like that whole concept of the idea of the word escape basically being something which I can use as a metaphor to describe my creative outlet while I work full time.
Tell me the story of how Zion Nation came to be. Like, what was the moment you both looked at each other and was like, actually, we're actually going to do this? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember it was shortly after I did my first shoot for a project which I had initially started on. So it all started off with a brand which I called Gentry Gums.
Gentry Gums.
Yeah, that's a while ago. I think most likely 2023.
Yeah, I think initially yeah, Gentry Gums. I think we started that back in 2023. Did a few shoots of that, and then
So that I shouted Eli to basically help out with the photography, and I basically designed a lot of pieces. The whole idea of the designs really came from me originally trying to write my own manga. Well, it's actually a comic which I want to get animated, but my whole game plan was to basically just do a lot of panels, draw panels, and then get them onto like t-shirts. Then I spoke to a friend. He was like, "You should do a brand." So then that's when I shouted Eli. He started working on Gentry Gums, and then we thought the name sounded a bit. It just didn't fit like our brand, what we were trying to obviously go for. And one of the pieces I designed within Gentry Gums was called Zion Nation, and
yeah,
yeah,
it was the Zion Nation piece, yeah, that I was like, bro, Zion Nation, I'll be real. This name is hard. This name is cold. And yeah, we ended up switching the names.
What was it about Zion Nation that like was like that is the code name?
Well, if you know anything about like Zion, or if you know anything about like the Matrix, there's like Zion where they're outside of like the Matrix, which is separate to why we even made it anyway. Because like there's a Rastafarian culture in Zion where it's like where you're supposed to try and get to as a people with like enlightenment and peace, and that was just really cool. And then nation, like having those two things put together as like the Zion being the meaning and nation being the goal. Whereas like everything that we try and embody within Zion, within ourselves, within the clothing, within the brand, we want to try and express outwardly and try and get like a community, try and build like a nation of people that are like-minded.
And you both had different creative like pursuits before this, right? Because Timi used to do like designing and stuff like that.
yeah. What was more of like just like character designs and drawing comics and like basically like I said before, I was trying to write a story, or I'm still writing the story, and from there I started teaching myself a bit of graphic design as well. I did a lot of like freelance work on projects for people on the side, and I was just pretty much just making a bit of money on the side doing that. And I think that's when I started to just think to myself, like, I want to design clothes that, I mean, I want to wear clothes that I've designed. Because on top of it as well, it was like, going back to the name, the whole concept of design was basically a reference to like, obviously, during the slave trade when a lot of Africans were obviously trying to obviously escape from captives, not captives, but like slave traders, and they looked at Zion as like in a way as a form of like escape. And I like that whole concept of the idea of the word escape basically being something which I can use as a metaphor to describe my creative outlet while I work full time and basically just do the normal 9 to 5, because it's nice to do something on the side and not be too kind of like, I guess,
like focused on just like work, like you have this outlet here. I want to get deep into that spirituality, but like let's just slowly ease. That's what I'm saying, because like Zion Nation, I'm hearing Babylon, I'm hearing all of these things, the heavy topics that I think like the audience are gonna want to like slowly go into. But I want to talk about the split roles for a second. You know, like you both had different creatives and you came together to make this brand. What was your role? What was your role, and how did you develop in that role?
Well, T's always been doing like graphic design and obviously working on his comics and just being good at designing anyway. So it would always make sense that he was the designer. When it came down to it, I was just like, I think it's called
Visual storyteller.
yeah, visual storyteller. No, but I'm basically like the DJ Khaled. Bro will come to me with a design that looks certain, and I'll be like, bro, I think you should just move that one piece down, that, or change this color, or just maybe change that one font, and that would literally be all I do for designs. When it comes to designs, that's all, bro. I probably do like 10%, 5 even. But on the shooting side, the creative side of filming, videography, photography, the video edits, like things like marketing, that's my side. So we delegated the roles between what we would make sense, what we're stronger at. He's naturally better at being the creative when it comes to designing things. I already have experience in shooting, modeling, videography. So literally just gelled very well.
Let's tell that for a second then. Talk to me about like the visual aspect of it. What was your plan going in? What was your vision when you saw Zion Nation?
I'm thinking UK moody, a bit grungy, because I feel like that's the aesthetic. That's kind of the vibe of London. It's a bit moody. We're a bit grungy. Street, urban, skateboarding. Bro does skateboarding. I can't skateboard to save my life, but I've always found it cool. I always find the graffiti, the skateboarding, all that whole aesthetic, rock, punk. That's kind of my vibe with it, and that's where my vision with like where we're gonna go creatively within like a visual aspect is where I want to do. So I've even tried to do that within like the forms of like editing I do. I'll try and make it a bit more not polished, but a bit more dirty, if that kind of makes sense. Like because like UK, just like London feel. I don't want it to feel like it's polished, like it's a Netflix. Like it's like like it's corporate. I don't want it to feel like it's corporate. I don't want to feel like it's like you're gonna go and sit down and watch it on the TV and be like, oh yeah, that was a cool advert. It's like you want to feel like that's something you could just see happening, or it's just something that you'd be a part of.
Yeah, and for you, Timmy, what was your like? Who did you design it for? When you make the designs in the clothing, did you have someone in mind?
Well, I'd definitely say it just really represented a lot of the stuff that my mind pretty much gravitated to. Because as much as I definitely do agree with Eli with the whole urban London aesthetic, it also kind of just represented like my fashion sense and style at the time. So I guess it really reaches out to people within that similar, I guess, demographic and fashion taste. Because before I'd say like, yeah, you know, to skaters, but when I dress depending on the occasion, but also in just different styles. So for now, it's definitely going to be a lot more urban street skaters. I mean, skaters as well as like I'd say like streetwear kind of market, but I would also like to explore just different kind of like I guess styles as well. Maybe something not necessarily like too like formal, but like more like a casual and like a different mature audience. Because like I said before, when I first started with Zion Nation, a lot of it was definitely within what Eli was talking about, and it still is. But I've been designing new things, and it's like I feel that as my mind kind of grows older, it's like it just kind of like gets experience and just goes with what.
Yeah, of course. It's like anything, right? The more you kind of do it, it develops into like bigger things than even you thought at the beginning, because you see the opportunities. Maybe you do a drop and you go, actually, I should have done it this way, or like, you know, by getting the feedback, you know, you think something different about the visual. So obviously you guys are in this very like crowded field. I think we both are, you know, podcasting is insanely crowded, and so is streetwear. But when you were going into it, what was your kind of niche? Where did you kind of feel like you fit into what do you have that everyone else doesn't? You know, what were you thinking? How are you trying to get to the idea?
I think, at least for me, and I think even Eli would say this as well, it's just more of like the fun and genuine like love we have for our crafts. Like we're both very passionate in the way how we want to like present our project. So, and it's very easy for you to be like, oh, you're very unique, you do your thing your own way. But because of the visions that we have, I feel that it's just more of like coming up with concepts that kind of seem like it'll be something that can relate to us. Like, I'll give you an example. When I came up with a lot of the designs for the shirts, they were all themed off different things, and I've asked people from like different backgrounds, like, oh, what do you think? And everybody's had like such a wide taste of what they kind of prefer. And I think it's the fact that we can just branch out to different types of people, compared to like a lot of brands that kind of tailor their audience to one type of audience. I think it's the fact that we can be very versatile is more of what I think makes us a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for you, like what? Because what I see from the streetwear kind of world, right? It's like brands like Cortez, like they lead it with like being authentic. They lead it with like, okay, we are the face of the brand. The brand is an extension of who we are. And like, you know, if you fuck with us, you fuck with the brand. You know, that's very different from like our H&Ms and our like all these old brands who are just like just commercial. You know, how do you see Zion Nation fitting into that? Which side do you guys fit on?
I think we fit somewhere in between, because me and T, we model some of the clothing, and we're obviously like we're still actively in like shoots. We'll model and like perform for them, not perform, like be in front of the camera.
I know you want
So I feel like there's a mix, because I don't think either one of us really wants to be at a place where it's like, yo guys, Zion Nation, come check out like every single day. We're not like making it about us, because it's not supposed to really be about us. Like, yeah, it can trickle down to us, but Zion Nation is supposed to be something that can still stand for itself. Like, knowing who we are and knowing that we're a part of it is still supposed to be an aspect of it. Be like, yo, all those two who are running the brand in the back of the video, like, and it's like, yeah, we're actually still there. We want to be a part of drops and be a part of like a community, but it's never about being the face of the brand, because then it's like, if the brand is also an extension of you, it's like, what's bigger, the brand or you? It's like, we want to create something that doesn't just have to rely on both our faces being involved. That's why we also just want to work with like different people, different models, and trying to like actually build a long-standing community between people. Because if we can build that and have people that are like actually genuinely invested in the brand, in the message, and the meaning, then it can last a long time period. It can last long. It could be generational. And I think that's kind of what happens with a lot of like legacy brands like JD, is that they start out maybe with that sort of idea. Well, not JD obviously, because you have to go back, it's a different market. And as time goes by, it becomes its own thing, which then you have to be careful about. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent.
No, I think that's an important tangent too, because I feel like figuring out where your brand fits in a larger ecosystem is so important, especially at the beginning. Because if you don't, then you end up somewhere you don't want to be, and you're kind of pigeonholed into this thing, you know. And then like people like JD, people like, you know, all these, they had done the vision from early on that this is who we want to be, and it kind of like what you say no to is just as important as what you say yes to. Yeah. And I think when you're doing that, it's like very important. Talk to me about like how it is running your own brand, especially as a team. Like, what are some of the difficulties? Like, what does no one tell you about running your own brand?
Do you know what? Social media will try and make it seem like it's easy. Social media will try and make it seem like, oh yeah, all you gotta do is do X, Y, Z, and you've got a running clothing brand and you're getting drops. That's not the case.
What, it's not easy?
That's not the case. No,
it's not easy.
nothing
looks so easy.
Because nothing in life is easy, and if something in life is easy, it's not really worth it. Because it's difficult, it will be worth it in the end. When there's like success, when we have the community, when we have everything when we want it to be. Because it's difficult, because there was actual genuine sacrifice, it makes it worth it. If we just started yesterday, oh yeah, post to TikTok, 100K, you've made loads of money. It's like, do we care? Do we care about our followers? Do we care about the community? Do you care about any of that? No, you just jumped from beginning to end. You haven't gone through the whole story or hero's journey. It's like Pokemon. Would Pokemon even be good if you start from the beginning? Yeah. And then next thing you know, by next episode, Ash has every single achievement. No. You have to go through season, movie, season, L, W, L, until eventually you get to where you're supposed to be. It's a journey. Same as everything in life. It's a journey.
Talk to me about that journey then, Timmy. Like, what are some of like the sacrifices that you've had to make personally for the brand?
I'd probably just say like mix of just like sleep, but also just like free time. So for example, doing things like I don't know, just like daily activities, like wanting to go out with your friends, or like just pretty much just like, even I don't want to say family too much, because you always got to prioritize family, but I do definitely see a change in like, I guess, availability when it comes to like now obviously, now that I've taken my leg off the brake, what's it called, the accelerator for the brand, But my whole point is it's just more like, I definitely say just like social time really, because obviously there's only certain amount of time which you can pretty much manage. And I feel like it's the free time that you do have. I definitely also say money as well. A lot of money is obviously going to be invested into what you do. Even if you're very strategical in how you approach it, you can make a lot of economical, sensible decisions. I feel like there are times where you got to be like, okay, I got a budget for this, so then I can end up seeing like a return in the investment. But I think a lot of it is definitely worth it, because you definitely do tend to improve a lot more, I guess, a lot of your own skill set. You know, I realized I was never really a business orientated individual. I only just used to like sell shoes a little bit from time to time, but then eventually like I started learning more things about like, okay, how to pretty much use like social media to market your audience, as well as like different ways of like pretty much investing yourself by doing like certain types of events, and then knowing how to be like, okay, I can spend this much amount of money just buying this.
Yeah, because I feel like the biggest issue I see with people around our age is trying to figure out how to do things themselves, and then they get hit with the wall of like, oh, it's supposed to be easy, and then it's not, and then they give up. And I think that cycle continues, and I think people who break through that, like people who understand what it's supposed to be, like what you're doing it for. Like you talked about skill set, like I feel like since I've started doing this, the one thing that has paid dividends the whole time has been my skill set.
Yeah.
Like financially, I've not seen like the, you know, how much I put in come back to me, but like the skill set I've developed from 0 to 100 had actually given me other opportunities in other places, which financially pays me back. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Like from the beginning of the brand to now, I would definitely say that is the biggest takeaway, is like the experience of what we've learned and like what we've gained skill wise, experience wise. Like he's only gotten better at designing. He's only gotten better and cleaner at everything he does. Likewise for me, we've only improved from where we started to where we've got to now. We've only improved. And it's taken L's, I won't lie to you. It hasn't been like smooth sailing every single time. Like we've had shoots that haven't always gone to plan or haven't always been easy. But from that's what you learn from. You don't learn, like you can learn from your wins, but I feel like it's a lot harder to learn from your wins because you're in the state of, yeah, that was great, that was amazing, I won, victory. It's when you go, oh, and you know what? I fucked up. That was tough. That was rough. It's when you sit back and actually analyze it, and that's where you actually learn. That's where you learn, or where you can get more in-depth knowledge. It's from the losses and from the W's.
Especially at the beginning, because like, for example, if I spend money on something and it goes wrong, I feel that right at the beginning way more than I would if I had loads of funds, you know.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, especially when you're doing something, like being prepared to take a loss and then take a win, and then like figure out what you got to do in between, or even take the next step. That's the hardest thing. It's like when you're in a position where you finally get settled, it's like, okay, so I know how to do drops, I know how to do. But then you know yourself, you got to take the next step. So figuring out the next step is difficult. Talk to me about that. Like, what was it like when it first started? And then when you guys realized I had to take the next step, what did that cost you?
Well, to be honest with you, I'll definitely say a lot of it really just came down to like approach. Like, and you know, the reason why I'm saying approach is because it's definitely a mentality thing. Like, I went into the brand initially just being very like, okay, if we just work as hard as we can, you know, things will just fall into place. But you sometimes have to make mistakes to be able to learn from them. And I think it's also being able to prepare for certain mistakes. And when you kind of be a bit more sensible in terms of like how you want to approach things, it can definitely help improve like the overall outcome. Like, for example, I'd definitely say like, for example, me and Eli spend a lot of time trying to plan out like how we're going to pretty much get out a lot of pieces. But then we realized that the amount of pieces we had been doing was quite a lot. And we went about it in different ways of obviously knowing how to promote it, but we've kind of now been able to figure out like a more sensible way of doing it. And I think a lot of it just came down to like maturity. But then it's like, because we also got good communication, we're very like, how do I say it? Considerate of each other's timings as well, which is something else I feel like has improved a lot since like we first started. You know, there are times where we'd realize that this may take longer, this meeting up at certain places would take longer, but we worked around it. And I think my whole point is just really the mental maturity of it. So yeah,
what I want to do now is give people advice, because I love to do that. I love to like bring things down to people where people are and like kind of read them where they are. So like obviously you both are doing creatives, you're working together doing creatives. What advice would you give to someone who feels that they're creators themselves, but doesn't know how to make that first jump or take that first step, or kind of scared?
Just do it. Just do it.
Go deep from there.
Just take the first step. You're gonna fail anyway. Like, yeah, I'll use like an analogy from like boxing. Like, for you to be a boxer, you have to be comfortable and accept the fact you're gonna get punched in the face. So just do it. Just get in the ring and get used to it. Get the punches, get used to getting hit, get used to falling over, get used to failing. And if you can be comfortable doing that, if you can be comfortable falling over, getting back up, failing, getting back up, then you're good. Then you're good. You're good. You'll learn. You'll learn. It's literally just about being able to jump in, say, I don't know anything, go douche, and go, all right, cool, I know a bit more. Then dodge, punt, uppercut. It's just every bit of the combination of what you'll learn, and you're still going to get hit at the end of it. And that's just it, getting further and further along that jumping point where you just learn. Oh, mistake. Okay, one step back. Okay, jump in again. Oh, okay, I figured it out this time. Next jump. Oh, it didn't work. One step back, two step backs maybe. 3, 4, 5 even. You never know. Sometimes it's a big L. But you learn, you process, and you keep going forward. And I think that works for anyone, no matter what you want to do, whether it's a creative, whether it's sport, whether it's corporate. If you fail and you keep on getting back up and you learn and you be smart with your execution and how you want to move forward with yourself, then no matter what you do, you should be able to become proficient in what you do.
And to give people the benefit of doubt, right? Why do you think people don't do that? Like, you're right, it is just do it. There's no way you're going to find out unless you do it.
I mean,
what keeps them stuck at the like stage one?
Fear.
I think it's procrastination, and to be honest with you, just to add to Eli's point as well, it's like doing it, but it's also just doing your research, because what everything Eli's described is the procrastination part. Oh yeah, what if this and that? Like, you have to just do it to be able to understand what works, but at the same time, just kind of do your research. I mean, you know, if you spend your time looking at like, okay, you look at different rules that like how to like improve social media engagement, how to record things. It's all free stuff on like the internet that you can easily find. And we luckily live in a time where it's like we're even progressing towards AI, where it's like you can even just type in that prompt like, oh yeah, how do you do this? You learn how to do it, and then just pretty much apply that by making the move.
And is
literally the barrier for entry is getting lower and lower.
Yeah, so, yeah. I was right. You said fear, right? Is there an element where doing the research becomes also part of fear, a part of procrastination?
I think procrastination is an interesting one, because I don't think procrastination is just like, you're being lazy. Procrastination, in my opinion, is being overwhelmed, because it's knowing that you have 10 things to do that are related to what you need to do and what you want to do to pursue a future that you ideally want. And then you have 15 other things that you don't need to do, but you have to do to survive. And then that combination of having so many things to do within one day
overwhelms you.
Yeah, overwhelms you. And I think it's a multi-layered thing. I think T is right. Procrastination is a big part of it. I think fear is a big part of it. And it's also because no one enjoys failure.
Yeah.
No one enjoys being uncomfortable. And that's a completely human response. That's natural. That's what it's going to be. So I think it's that initial fear of being judged, of judging yourself, of failure, of a list of different things. And I think that, along with procrastination, is the main reason why people don't take that initial step. And that's with everything. That's my idea of like everything in life. It could be sport, everything. Yeah. It's just fear, procrastination, judgment, and overthinking. And a few other things, I guess.
How did we get over the fear of judgment? Because I feel like that's a big thing. How did you guys get over that?
I'm not over the fear of judgment at all. I won't try and proclaim like I'm some.
But you've made steps though, because you've done things that you care about without caring too much what people are going to say. So there's at least forward progress. What was the steps in your mind that put you to do it?
This will sound a bit dark, but knowing that everyone's gonna pass away. Knowing that everyone's gonna pass away. We're all gonna die one day. It's like, all right, cool. What's the point in being judged? Like, and even I'll think that I'm consciously aware to not care what people are going to judge me for, because people will judge you your whole life. I've been judged throughout my life, and I don't really care what people think. But it's still difficult. I'm not at that place where I can give an entire answer where you're like, oh, you can just stop caring, because as human beings, we're not wired to think like that. I'm gonna care what you think about me, Jeff. You should care what I think about you. If I don't care what you think about me, does that mean I even care about what you think or you as a person? Do I care about interacting with you? So I think it's as humans, we've grown to judge things because it's how we grow anyway. So to go, you can't fear judgment, or you're going to be okay with judgment throughout your life, Bro, there are Hollywood movie stars with hundreds of millions who shouldn't give a damn what any of us think. But hey, they be on Twitter still going, oh, da.
Someone's like, they care more.
They care more and they got money. They got money. We're out here still trying. Yeah. And we're like, oh, should I? I'm thinking, oh, should I post this reel to IG?
Yeah.
Listen, these people take Botox and lip fillers so they don't feel that sort of judgment and fear. So I don't know.
I feel like the whole judgment thing as well is like, realistically, you got to kind of just be sensible. And I think of it logically. It's like, at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is going to benefit yourself. So why would you really care about a comment online or like somebody else's perception? I mean, that's not going to benefit you. What you're working towards will benefit you. The only time you should care about something is like, okay, maybe your customer base, but I'm not happy with this or that. Those are the things you need to care about. And I think what Eli's saying is like, caring about what people think is always going to be a natural emotion. So you shouldn't really shy away about it, but you should just use it in a logical point. There's being self-aware and there's being overly anxious. Just be self-aware of the things that you need to improve on so then you can grow your projects. But don't care about that, oh, this guy's just going to hate, because it's like, okay, he's hating, but he's not making the same decisions and money you're making because you've applied yourself.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. But to play devil's advocate, right? Say someone is in that position, they don't care about the hate comments, but they care about what their friends are going to think of them. Say like they're in a position of, oh, maybe they want to start posting clothes online, right? And they're thinking, actually, my friends know me as a baller. If I start posting clothes online, they're going to start thinking, they might not say anything, but, you know, we're a friend group and da-da-da-da-da.
Now, that's interesting. I think that's internal judgment.
Go on.
Because what you've done there is and I think people do this a lot actually, you've already imagined what your friends are going to think. You've already prejudged you've already prejudged yourself and given yourself the notion of judgment before any of your friends even think about it. Because you know your friends and how they think, you think they're going to judge you. So you've already created the judgment. You've already judged yourself. They haven't even judged you. You've already judged yourself. And that self-judgment has now stopped you. Not even your friends judging you. Oh, I'm a boxer now, I'm going to be doing clothing as a hypothetical. It's like, how do they see me? You've put yourself in that box before anyone even else has.
100% agree. So 100% agree. And that's why I was going deeper for a dig, because I felt like...
I want to add on.
Good man.
And I think that if you haven't got friends that are supportive like that, like, I'll be real, when you're like 14, 15, yeah, you're all stupid. You know, friends might not be supportive. You want to start a clothing brand? Look at this guy. Ha, ha, ha. You know what I mean? But once we all get older, you get to a certain mindset. Like, bro, we're all adults trying to live our life, trying to be the best versions of ourselves. I'm going to support... If my friend wanted to go around... If my friend wants to turn to me tomorrow and say, bro, I want to go be a gardener. I want to be the best gardener in the world. I'd be like, bro, go for it. Or I want to make bouquets of flowers. I'm not gonna laugh and be like, oh, you're stupid, that's silly. You might have when you were 13 because it's silly, but when you're an adult, it's like, no, that's your passion. Follow it. You don't just hate on someone's passion. If it's your brethren, you might go, yeah, you might rib them a little bit because that's your brethren. You know what I mean? But no, you support that. You want to see that grow in an individual and in your friends and in people you care about. You want to see growth. You don't want to see them stay stagnant and staying the same and not want to change and not want to grow.
No, we don't. I fully agree with what you're saying, because I was going to pretty much just summarize that. You need to have like a positive group around you to be able to bring you up. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no problem in really trying. You know, like anybody who hates on you for trying is just like, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you want that energy around you?
John, that reminds me of what's that? Wait, what's that? ASAP Rocky's that?
Yeah, that's
ASAP Rocky's like, he's like, well, you trying? How you hate a nigga for trying? When they try and start being cool.
Fucking loser.
That's my point.
It's so true. You fucking loser.
Oh, shit.
But no, I completely agree. And I think like that's why I wanted to go deep. I'm so fucking glad you guys got to that point of internal judgment, because most people have that. They don't realize that's what it is, right? They're having all this like bombardment of social media opinions. They don't realize that now they're not projecting their own opinion of self onto other people.
Yeah.
And saying, oh man, these people are gonna judge me if I do this and do that. No one cares, bro. Like, trust me, like, no one really cares enough to hate like that. Unless you become big enough, and then they start hating because you're big. Let's go back to Zion Nation now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of what you said has given me perspective on what you guys are trying to do, and like the discipline you both have for what you want to do, right? But what is making it look like for you? Like, obviously you're working towards something. What is that thing you're working towards?
Well, I would say the goals kind of changed for me now. Realistically, I just want to be able to do something on the side where, okay, yeah, definitely it would be nice to get some income, but also just basically do something that I enjoy with my friends and be able to create like a community out of it. Because the one thing I kind of see in life is like as you grow older, like we spend so much time fixating on things like properties, finance, XYZ, and it's we kind of then end up getting to a point where it's like you're older, you don't really have as like many connections because you've kind of just
Spend time working and away from.
no, literally, and it's on top of that as well. It's like even working in like in several different jobs as well. Like a lot of the time, you kind of see people's closer friends would be from work, and sometimes work is similar to school, where it's like you're just in an environment with people, and you just get along with them. Like obviously, some work environments is a lot more. Their chemistry fluctuates. Sometimes you're in a work environment that is really good. Sometimes it's like it's not the best, but I kind of just see it as like it would be nice to have something outside, like, okay, you got your family, the friends that you've known and grown up with, but then also something you productively do. And that's why the whole nation and the Zion Nation means a lot to me, because it's like 2025, like both Eli and I, like, we went like intense with like just projects and stuff. But one of the few things I really enjoyed was just like, I look back at the memories you've done. I'm like, meeting so many people that have similar mindsets that also can bring out their own projects. I want to kind of have like a long lifetime of like connections like that at least.
So it's not like a financial destination. It's more like a balance with your work, but also the community that you want to build around the work that you do.
Definitely, because finance, it's like, as much as I would like to do it like that, I've already kind of got my whole head screwed on with something else. But on top of that as well, I think like with the finance, it's like, this was a very, very like, I feel like more of a personal one, but I want to be real. I think for me, it's like if we were to go down it with a very financial mindset, it would kind of definitely affect relationships and like focus of the brand.
Yeah, of course.
The types of stuff we put out, what certain people may think works from the brand. And I think as much as like that could definitely be something that we could work towards, it's also something that requires a lot of time. Like you got to sacrifice a lot. Like I know a lot of people who invest into something and it's like their lifestyle literally just revolves around that because that's your life.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like also if your goal is money, you make certain type of choices. You sacrifice maybe, I don't know, community, or you sacrifice, I don't know, depth, because you're trying to reach the biggest amount of people that are trying to get, especially in the world like social media, where it's just about how can I reach amount of people. You talked about before about just like in a controversy. My goal is to be as popular as possible. I just go full on controversy. But if goes for community, you move certain differently. What about you? What is that like making it look like to you?
Making it to me, I'll be real. Making it to me would be walking down the street, and just seeing like just seeing a bunch of like school kids and like kids at college, just all repping the brand and just all smiling and laughing. I'll be so real. If I was just walking down the street, or just driving down the street or anywhere, it doesn't matter, and I just see just a bunch of school kids, college kids, all just laughing while wearing our stuff, that there, I'd be like, yo, we just made it. Like we just made it. The next generation is actually there, vibing, being happy, because clothing is self-expression, is how you feel. And if you like the clothing and you like the meaning of Zion, that means you must resonate with what we're trying to put out there. And to see that in the younger generation just after us, or just after us, would be amazing. It would be amazing. It's like, it's a mindset change. The Zion is supposed to be about community, about lifting one another up, about helping each other. And it's like, to see that just be within a younger generation, or within even my own generation, older generations, everyone, that to me would be success. Like money is great, don't get me wrong. I look after my parents, buy mum and dad a place, I make sure everyone's good. That's great. But the other side of it would be literally knowing that in every corner of the globe that I go to, I can go and see a Zion t-shirt and I can go, yeah, you think like me, you think like us, you want to see this world in a better place, you want to see us go forward as a people, as a nation, because Zion Nation, that's what it means. We're supposed to all go forward. For me, that is success. If money comes from that as well, oh my God, even better. I'm jumping for joy. You're going to see me jump like a madman.
It's smart you said that as well, because the amount of times, like, whenever we did shoots, and this is what I'm saying, like, I'll walk around in the station, like, I'm not even trying to, like, seem overconfident with it, but I'll see, like, certain demographics were like people looking at the pieces that we're wearing, and they always turn their heads again.
You know,
they'll be like,
so turn their head and look at us and like, yeah, you know.
it's mad. Like, I was on the bus one time. I was wearing the tracksuit. I was just gonna go and do some writing in like a park, and I remember there were some kids just talking about like what's it called, essentials, and like just some other pieces as well. And then I remember this guy was just being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna go to this drop. I just walked past them. All the kids were just like, hey, you see that guy's jacket?
And we were doing the shoot in the underpass, the escape bit. Yeah, and literally the kids are riding their bikes going past. They're like, yo, that was yours. And we're like, yeah, it's our brand. They're like, oh, that looks sick. Let me drop you a follow. And it's just, bro, it's a smile on my face. I was like, yo, my heart it feels like I'm like it's adorable. It's it's that feeling there, like that's more important than money. Like money can't just go, yo, bro, hey, take 50 quid. Like that's just weird. That feeling there, going, yo, is that yours? That interaction there, that's what it means. To me, that's what it means. I want that. Where it's just that vibe of the people, connecting with people, building a community. Yeah, man.
I love that. I love that you say that too, because like it does really focus on like what matters about like your brand, and if the brand isn't just for itself, it's for a bigger cause. It's for a cause of like bringing community together. Like you said, if someone reps the brand, they rep of how you man think and how what you guys view as like is good for the world. Talk to me about that kind of like sentiment. Is that come from like religion? I know we talked before about like, you know, the name Zion Nation, you know, like, you know, from what I understand, the Zion Nation is a safe haven opposite from, like Babylon and all of that kind of decadence of the world and, you know, whatever.
Going down some deep routes now, huh? Going some deep paths now, huh?
We're right there in the conversation now. We've taken the time for it. But yeah, talk to me about that spiritual aspect of it. The name Zion Nation, what does that mean? And like, is there a reason you chose that name?
Yeah.
It's just like I was saying, it's just more of like the Zion pretty much represents the creativity aspects of the brand and how we use our own like creative skill sets to bring out different projects that could bring people together. Or the nation is more bringing people together, like having people from like different backgrounds to pretty much represent what they do, but also what we do as well. Like, we recently did a project with an artist, and well, like he's an upcoming artist, but he's one of our friends as well. But like he's very talented.
What was his name?
Shout out Brandon.
Shout out his name.
Shout out Brandon.
I got you, Brandon, bro.
Shout out Brandon. Hold up. Come on.
Literally, but like even doing that project last year, he choreographed a lot of the dance moves, but then the pieces that I had designed, he was wearing it along with the other dancers we had as well, who also do their own dancing and their own create the groups. And then Eli obviously did a lot of the photography, videography, and the editing. Like we all put together, like what. And it's like whenever I watch a movie or a dance, I remember the inspiration came from like this Chris Brown advert, and I was like, the fact that we're able to replicate it into our own thing is what makes it seem a lot more. It's just more of like what I personally enjoy out of the whole creation process. So
So like for you, like Zion represents like to getting together with other creatives that you know have share the same kind of sentiment and creating things that you're proud of and creating things that you're inspired by, and bringing that to a larger group of people. Yeah. What about you? Like, is there a religious sentiment to it, or is it just purely a name?
There is that, like, there's religious and spiritual and also comes from media as well, from that matrix, because it is kind of like about kind of breaking free from that way of thinking of how the system puts everyone in a box of a particular way of thinking or pins everyone against each other. It is supposed to be about like kind of everyone coming together. So there is a religious aspect from it. There is a spiritual aspect in it. For me, definitely, because I'm like that's how I view Zion. I view it as the mindset of, okay, this current system isn't working. We have enough evidence for it. How do you change it? Well, you can't change it quickly. You can't change it in 5 years. You can't even change it in 10. You got to change it with generations. And the way you do that is you change the thinking, because the system has perpetually pumped in a way of thinking where now you have the next generation are borderline like nihilistic.
Or they're cooked.
I wouldn't even say they're cooked. They're smart. They're the smartest generation. They're smarter than us. I tell you now, they are.
Yes, I mean,
Bro, I tell you now, they're the smartest. They're smarter than all of us. They are the most in tune. I tell you now, they just have the most. They just have the most amount of distractions in front of them.
I think they're more mentally distracted. But like I said, I'm not saying that they're dumb. I just think there's just too much. Like you said before, there are distractions, external ones, but even in their mind, it's like you can't watch a video without having another video playing on top. Like, if you can't just read something simply, compared to people in the 60s that would have to like do uni assignments and go to the library and read like
read the newspapers to actually see what's going on in the news, or sit in front of a radio. But if you have, like, we all do, I'm sure we all before bed doom scroll, and it's like go back 10 years when you were 14. Did you doom scroll? No. I didn't doom scroll. None of us doom scrolled. But that's like overall what I want to do with like the brand. It's about changing how the way people think, and you can only do that over generations, because that's how you change the system. Because I don't think this is all. If the system collapses, everyone's screwed. We're all fucked. You can't just. I don't want a collapsing system. I want a system that works. How do you do that? You have to get human beings and people that actually fundamentally work and have good morals. And think oh yeah, I'm not going to take £5 out of your pocket. I'd rather put £5 in your pocket.
I completely agree.
Yeah, and if we have that sort of mindset in 20 years, I think things will be all right. I genuinely think things will be all right. If the next generation has that mindset in 20 years when they all grow up, I genuinely think things will be all right. And I think we're heading that direction anyway, because people are sick of the way things are going anyway. That mindset is happening naturally, where people are like, you know what? People are looking for community. People are looking for connection. They're not looking for this empty void of soullessness that's being sold to us by a capitalist system.
Yeah.
And it's not saying capitalism is overall bad, but in this hyper capitalism where we know the price of everything, the value of nothing.
Yeah. But no, like, I completely agree. This is kind of why I started this whole thing. This is why I do this. This is why I sit down and people try to talk to them, because I realized like the direction we were going down was becoming very vapid, and it was becoming very like the only way we talk to each other was through like short videos and short content, and no one is actually talking to each other. They'll see someone say something and they'll think, okay, this group of people believe this, and so every time I meet someone, I'm just regurgitating ideas to someone and not really thinking for myself. And I was seeing that in person with friends. I'm like, bro, you don't even believe that. What are you talking about?
Literally. And that's brainwashing at its finest.
Yeah.
That's brainwashing at its finest. Like a form of brainwashing. Every day when we're doom scrolling, it's a form of brainwashing. 100%. It's literally flashing images in front of your face. It could be extreme. It could be something like it could be some chick doing her OnlyFans, or next thing you know, it's a bomb dropping in Ukraine.
Yeah.
That shit there. You got everything. A Clockwork Orange, when they strike the guy down, they put the thing with his eyes, and they go do, and they make him watch a bunch of shit,
and his brain fucked.
And people don't realize that's what's happening to us with the phone. This swipe. The memory is becoming fried. We have the smartest generation that has the smartest generation of children have the lowest level of literacy because of the goddamn machine. Not because they're stupid, because they have so many distractions, and the parents have so many distractions. Like, yeah, it's a shit show.
Yeah, from top to bottom, I think the system isn't like the incentives aren't right. And I really think deeply about like how to do those incentives right, and which is why I really like what you guys are doing, because most people make a clothing brand just for the profit, you know. But to make a clothing brand with a message behind it and to really push that message, which is why I wanted to get you guys on today, because I know that message, you know, because I know you two. But I thought like it was important to get other people to understand what your brand stands for, and to really like stand in that, because once you stand in that, I think it gives people the kind of confidence within themselves to be like, actually, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with what you're to say. Like, fuck the system, you know. Please don't cancel me.
Please give us money first before we take you down, or before you cancel us. Please give us money.
But no, I think that's a very important conversation that we will continue to have, because I think not one person can change that. But what advice would you give to people, or both of you actually? What advice would you give to people in that kind of system that Elias talked about? How do we get out of that? How do they get out of that kind of like, you know, hyper-capitalist kind of society?
Okay. Well, I was just thinking, for one, you just got uncapped. You gotta. I mean, I feel like this is a very like overly passive perspective, but count the blessings you have. Like, I feel like you just need to know the flaws in the system that you currently live in, work a way around it, then create a life that works for you. Which is why I'm saying that a lot of this whole mindset of like, okay, just applying yourself is like, yes, there's a lot of distractions. Yes, like we've got responsibility, but you got to also look at like what we've got. Like, for example, in a country like UK as well, like I feel, especially in London, and I think there's so much opportunity. You just got to kind of, save a bit of money, put it to the side, self-invest into yourself, work with a schedule that works for you, find like a job. Yes, finding a job that works for you isn't always going to be the most easiest one, but we've all had like, both me and you, like we've all had our own kind of like trials and tribulations which you have to overcome and then end up working towards it. So it's like I said, I think it's just a mindset thing, then kind of looking at what works with you.
Yeah, I think it's realizing those trials and tribulations are part of it. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Like you need to go through that just to gain the perspective and the kind of like toughness within your mind to go, actually, if it happens again, I've done this before. I can figure out how to go through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it builds resilience, like the trial and error. And I was gonna say, never losing hope. Never losing hope. If you lose hope, then the system's really got you. Like having hope, like living a happy life, in my opinion, is a form of rebellion. Like living a genuine happy life and having genuine connections is a form of rebellion, because the system wants you alone, depressed, fat,
nihilistic.
Like it wants you depressed, ordering food, watching Netflix. It would be happy if you did that all day, if you worked from home, ordered food and watched Netflix for the rest of your life. The system would be, it would love you. Oh, the system would love you. It would view you like gold. You'd be gold. The system wishes everyone was like that. And never losing hope in front of the impossible, because that's what it seems like. It seems impossible. What we're trying to achieve in changing a whole system seems impossible. Never losing hope, like having hope, having hope the size of a mustard seed, having this small amount of hope, even holding that in your soul will forever keep you going. Never lose that last bit of hope. If they take that hope from you, the system has taken everything from you. Never lose that. Living a happy life and having hope is rebellion against the system in itself, and I'm very passionate on that forever and always.
100%. And I think like the best part about that is also like, once you understand that that's what the system is trying to do, just like you said, the act of having hope, the act of rebellion becomes like you start a revolution. Like, what did like Tupac say? He's like, I just want to be the spark. I want to be the spark for the next generation. Maybe I'm not the person that changes the world.
And the thing is, people think revolution means, we will have to be in the streets rioting. No. Listen, do you know what? Do you know how badly the system would turn its head if they saw 3 million people having a party in London? Yeah. No one's rioting, just everyone's out having a party. Like if it was like the 60s, Woodstock, like things like that. People don't realize, it hasn't got to be violent. You opt out, building community, being happy, speaking to one another. There's so many different avenues that can happen for change, and just being happy and having these sort of conversations and knowing that just this alone is an act of rebellion, trying to change people's minds and make them think in a different way.
Speaking on that, like to take a lower return.
Go on.
I want to talk about anime for a second.
Yeah, go on.
What kind of anime? What kind of things have you watched in anime that have given you that kind of perspective that you just talked about now? Or maybe it's anime, TV shows, movies. How do people like find that perspective of like, let me not be so taken up with the system. Let me actually find my own self, my own perspective, and go through that. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not feeling, but
I had one right off the bat, but it wasn't really like, I don't know if
you can say for that.
No, it was gonna be a TV show, to be fair. It wasn't gonna be an anime, but it was gonna be Mr. Robot. It was gonna be Mr. Robot. Yeah, Mr. Robot. Yeah, come on, Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot was cool. Yeah, come on.
So
literally, because that one there, just Elliot, and I was like, because I've always thought to myself, wouldn't that just be so cool? A bunch of hackers really just hacking into all of these financial fuckers and going, you know what? Let's clear everyone's uni debt. Let's clear everyone's hospital bills. Let's clear everything. Yo, that would change the whole. Oh my god, a dream. Watching that show was like watching a dream. Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah, wait, did you finish the show?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But you see the part where that was part of the system?
Yeah.
Like they let him do that so they could benefit off that? That's the shit that scares me. Or even our rebellion is kind of be like...
It's true. I've said it before. The system is so... It's why I say you can't lose hope. The system is so undefeatable that it will capture your rage and your aggression and your anger and market it to you and repackage it and sell it back to you as revolution. It will take your revolution and repackage it and sell it back to you and you'll be going, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Where's it now? Where's it now? Where'd all the money go? We saw where all the money went. There's all the paper. It's not even controversial. It's just facts. They took all the money and they fucking ran with it. They took all the money and ran with it. A genuine cause got psyopted, taken over, and they ran with the money. If what happens, the system will take your rage, repackage it, and sell it. So I think that the violent side will come at some point, because it just happens. If you push people far enough, they will become violent. But opting out entirely and going, you see in some places like Japan where they have like the people that don't work at all. They're not working at all. I'm not even opting into your system. If everyone did that for a month, you'd see change. There's so many different avenues, and I'm rambling because I'm so passionate about this.
No, but I hear that, man. I like the passion too, because if you're not passionate about change and making the world for a better place, then what are you really doing? You know?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, come back to what I did with the anime part. Then what anime has influenced you in your creative pursuits? That's it.
Okay, I mean, like, I guess in terms of like mindset, I wouldn't really say any anime, but I would think if I were to really talk about anime, I would say like, okay, at least clothing style, like. I think, for example, Soul Eater's clothing style. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got that very old school kind of like early 2000s, like Y2K, which I think is pretty dope because I can see a lot of people replicating it nowadays. If you were to talk about like the mindset, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't really say there was any anime that inspired me, but I do feel like one that does have like a similar mindset would probably be like something like One Piece. Like if you've seen it, you know, like he's just trying to do his own thing and like obviously go against the main government. But when it comes to the whole government like perspective of like being mentally free, I really, like I said this before, I'm not too like obsessed with it because I just see it as like if you've got your own life, you just got to take everything with a pinch of salt and then just do what makes you happy. You can't be like sticking to one political movement, this or that. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to fall into that category and follow like a specific mindset or like I guess political belief, be my guest. I just think for me it's like it's too much in life to think about to be caring about like something like that unless it genuinely does affect like your daily living, you know, because I do understand that like, okay, yeah, fair enough, it's like if you go left or if you go right, you know, maybe certain things like maybe like I don't know what's it called, NHS, like
certain things that affect people more, like the government, you know, if like if say reform get into power, it's gonna affect some people who are immigrants and shit like that.
Exactly.
But like if it doesn't really affect you, then you should don't take the extreme path.
Yeah.
The extremism is what actually doesn't help.
No, 100% is the extreme perspective of it because I think a lot of the time it's like I understand that like a lot of decisions that are made by like certain figures in government definitely does shape like our overall future, but we as people also have power to kind of let how much that really dictates us. Obviously, in certain places, at the end of the day.
So, no, I agree. It's creating a Zion nation to go against Babylon, right? It's like having that perspective where you're going to create your own place so you don't have to be for this other perspective.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. All right, final question. Where do you guys see Zion nation?
Wait, sorry. Actually, I want to circle back quickly. I got two animes. I only we gave you a TV show. First one is going to be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because and second one would be Attack on Titan. And in both of the shows, both of the governments are corrupt. Both of the governments are basically shadow governments. Both of the governments will like borderline remove you or know what's happening or know secrets that you don't. And the main characters at the end of it are literally tear down both of those systems. They tear down both of those systems and in a way liberate everyone from the system that they're currently under. So I'd say those two shows have impacted how I think within that mindset. And just as a lifelong mindset, Dragon Ball Z. If you know Dragon Ball Z, if you know, you know. If you haven't watched Dragon Ball Z, then you missed out.
I know, it's crazy.
Dragon Ball Z, man. Just
I see One Piece, but I used to Dragon Ball.
Train hard, never give up. Yeah, friendship is important.
I hear that.
Eat, rest, train. Just Dragon Ball Z, man.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't know. Just that's the kid in me that goes, you want to be strong, man. That Dragon Ball Z, It's either Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or Bleach. Is everyone's like young one when you're a kid. It's either one of those three that inspires you for life. You know what I mean?
Nah, you know what? You said something though. Bleach as well. Like one of the few things I thought with Bleach heavily is that it had that very it had really good like fashion sense. Like you can definitely tell like it's a style. They were like,
Millions even
I can't like.
That's the coldest fashion. Oh my days.
Yeah, like all the characters, like when they showed up, you're like, fuck, you know, that guy looks like he just looks stripped out, everything.
I never watched Bleach, you know.
Nah, you should watch it. Like it's what there's another one sweat. It kind of had like a few moments where he did get a bit long, but as a kid, like I remember just going to like the library, just
the hypest moments, bro. It has some of the hypest moments in anime, man. When like Aizen shows up, or like when something happens, you just lose your fucking mind. And the episode ends, you're like, what the fuck just happened?
I remember being at my friend's house and like, you know when you can't watch animes on TV, so you gotta find it on YouTube and shit. Bro, you know, I'm just there watching it with him on YouTube, yeah, and I try and find it at home. Could never find it myself, could never find Bleach on YouTube. I was there watching Dragon Ball Z on YouTube as a kid. The next thing you know, part 6 is in Spanish in the corner.
Yeah. And you're like, fuck, yeah.
You're like, oh shit. Never to know the ending.
No, literally.
Okay, yeah, final question I had. Where do you guys see Zion Nation in like 2, 3, 4, 5 years time? What is there? Do you guys think about that? Are you like day to day, or do you like have a vision for where you're trying to take it?
I look at things very long term, because I look at building like a clothing brand as like a long term investment. I didn't view it as something we could get done in like a year, and I view it as if we did like, would it be good for you? Sometimes immediate success isn't good for you. Growing and developing over time, you learn. It's like sometimes it's why you get like one hit wonders with like music. They blow up, didn't know how to manage it or manage the fame, manage the money, fell down. So I viewed it like a long-term thing where we could be doing it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And as long as there's consistent growth and consistent, like, a consistent goal we're moving towards, it's good. I think within the next, like, 5 years, I can just see the brands just being, like, just a bigger version of what it is more. A better well-oiled machine as well, because that means, like, realistically, we'll be able to add more people to the team. And once we can do that and have our own inner circle of a community that can actually help us with projects as well, I could just see the brand taking off. I could see the brand taking off, being able to have a much bigger community. So 5, 10 years, yeah, I see us doing pretty well. I see us doing pretty good.
I hear that, Timmy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably say it's very similar to Eli's one. It's just more of the fact that I can see it more just being something how we mentally visual. I feel like the quality of the content we're gonna get out in terms of like how a lot of things are like presented and like I guess just pretty much like just pretty much done.
Yeah, like the output is like, you know, like a bit like what EA said, the bigger your team gets, the more you get all these stuff out, the stuff like that. Yeah, 100%, bro.
I can add on to that as well. From when me and bro first started going abroad, like I was thinking, all right, cool. I can see it in other countries as well. Like I can see Zion going into other countries. I could easily, because I've seen the fashion in like France, Spain, other places in Europe. So I could easily see the brand taking off in like different parts of Europe as well. Yeah. Especially over the next few years. All we just need is like, if we had like an in over there or someone working over in one of those countries, they could actually set up the foundation for it as well.
No, yeah.
Or I could see us blowing up in Europe.
Bro, 100%.
I think it's just more about I mean, the main thing I really wanted to say with it is just kind of like just doing something which we enjoy. So that's why I'm kind of like, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I have no idea how it will go, because I feel like maybe sometime down the line I'll be like, okay, fuck it, like let's go to Japan and like record shit there. Okay, fuck it, now let's go and do a collaboration with like some random person who's probably grown up in their own music team, and I decided to like present it on like, I don't know, maybe as like a concert or something. At the end of the day, like my mind is just in like 5 different places in the whole perspective of where it could really go. Because I don't know what my mindset would really be like in the future, if that makes sense.